knew how to hurt people. I knew how to take pain. And I knew how to not show any emotions if I needed to. My name is Mikey Caicedo. I'm 31 years old. I'm from Brevard County, Florida. I'm a purple belt under Tommy Wales. I've been training in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for about 4 years now. I've been taking my profession and my grappling to a professional level and really trying to step it up on more of a higher level. Besides that, the beauty part about Jiu Jitsu, it gave me a second chance in life. It also gave me opportunity to show that individuals like myself that have, messed up in their past can have a second chance, and, we're not all bad. Slowly started getting into the community, falling in love with the sport, just the camaraderie, and the sportsmanship about it. I really just fell in love with just being on the mats. And slowly but surely, I thought about just doing this full time. And try to find a way of how to do so and how to provide a good service and something to the community that we could use. And so I looked around and I couldn't find a store that was even a little bit to our agenda or our style or anything, So I was like, hey, martial arts supply store. Let's start it. Let's do it. So that's basically kind of where it started. If you look around, these are all brands that have a name out there in the grappling MMA world. I'm just working off of experience. So out of all the different brands, these are the ones that stand. So literally, I just put them to the test with myself. I use them myself. We have a saying here at MKY, if we don't use it, we won't sell it. But if you have any doubt, any questions or anything, man, just feel free to give me a call. I'm proud to say that I'm the owner of MKY Combat Supplies, MKY Bounce Houses, Mikey Fit Personal Coaching and Fitness, And I think that's probably, compared to what I used to do, it's probably one of the best feelings, being proud. To those out there that never came to MKY, this is the place to be for any athlete that's looking for the right gear to train. And let me be a service to you and help you become the champion that you are. MKY is going to speak for those that have no voice. MKY is going to protect those that can't protect themselves. That's where I see MKY going. For me, being able to encourage these kids to get out of their shells and to really find out who they are, man, that's like magic, because at the end of the day, that could alter the way their life will turn out. I think about what Mikey needed when he was 16 years old. We're going to understand the flaws. We're going to understand where you guys made the mistakes, because we had to go through it. And sometimes a little bit of love, a little bit of attention, a place for these kids to have that's safe, programs that may be a little bit cheaper, that isn't going to break the pockets of the parents. Because if we're not there to interfere and to guide them and show them love, then trust me, they're going to go off and find it somewhere else. And eventually that love and that fire is going to get blown away and it's going to fade. And they're going to get lost. And the thing is, it only becomes more of an issue. So I have an opportunity now, not only because of my store, but because of my grappling, because of my fighting, because of my social platform, to speak and to really show people that we're not bad. We're not monsters. If you make a mistake, your life isn't over. And I'm not afraid to say it anymore, that I used to be a drug dealer, that I used to rob other drug dealers. The life that I lived wasn't right. And the money that I produced didn't fulfill the voids and cracks in my heart. You know, my mother passed away when I was 13 years old. My dad never really was one of those individuals that would tell me he was proud of me, tell me he loves me. He would tell me he loves me, you know, but he would never engage or show me the love that I needed. When I first came home from prison, my brother, Danny Pointez, he committed suicide about 7 months before I came home from prison. I lost my father a year before I came home from prison to cancer. So our plan was, when I came home, because he was managing some fighters and he had a gym, was to eventually fight, because that was what I did. I knew how to hurt people, I knew how to take pain, and I knew how to not show any emotions if I needed to. So I ended up getting back into drugs, selling drugs again, like after my first year out of prison on probation, federal probation. I was stupid. Like, waiting to go back to prison. And so I ended up getting fat. I ended up having a son. And my life was spinning out of control. So I ended up going through another situation, and I remember I was at the point again where I wanted to commit suicide. You know, I deal with mental health issues just like anyone else. I have, you know, it's on paper, on black and white. I take medication, you know, I do my part to control myself. And when that came about, you know, I remember telling myself I need to get back closer with my brother, because I needed my brother. And so I told myself, I was like, let me get to the mat. Let me try out Vortex, because it was the closest thing that I had, and it was the only thing that was close to what me and my brother were resembling about. And I just wanted to fucking feel something, because life sucks when you're just shoving drugs up your nose and you're slamming fucking drinks back. So I walked in and I told myself that I wanted to feel something, and I was like, if I feel something, I'll stick with it. If I don't, this is probably gonna be it, and we're gonna try it again. So the first day I came in, they fucked me up bad. And I came back the next day, they fucked me up bad. Came back the next day, they fucked me up bad again. I kept coming back because I started feeling something again. I started feeling not just pain and not just suffering, but just something, adversity, conflict, and me continuing to be at that borderline where death lingers and yet life is there, and I'm floating in my own sweat and I'm trying to breathe. And then the bell buzzes, and then boom, it's over. But you're back, and you felt normal. And the person in front of you is smiling, and it's okay. I'm like, that reminded me of my life. Like how fucking shit just goes out of nowhere crazy. But then it can just snap, and it can be fine or okay, normal. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta let the buzzer beep. I found myself. I found my why. I know myself. It took a long time for me to get to know myself. 31 years. People don't understand what part of being incarcerated and being humiliated on top of that. I get it. We did shit that was wrong. We deserve to be punished. But I don't feel like we deserve to be humiliated. Like, I literally had to teach myself from the ground up how to mentally break myself down so I could fix myself up. And then the physical came with it. My priorities were fucked up, and I was trying and I couldn't figure it out, but then something snapped in my head, and then all of a sudden I just started waking up at 4. I started listening to the right things. I started reading. I started eating correctly. I started training more. I started taking more accountability for the things that I've done and the things that I was doing. I started becoming more disciplined, and I started structuring my life and designing it so I could have a future. If you really want to change yourself, honestly, you have to write down your plan. Because the biggest thing about me and my biggest problem was procrastination. I didn't want to do everything. I have ADHD. I want to fucking do this, that, and that. But I could want to save the whole world. But how do I do that? Small, consistent actions. Compound effect. One day at a fucking time. Sometimes people need that first initial push. I needed it. Trust me, I needed it so bad that I had to find it in myself to fucking get it. Because if not, I was going to fail. Like I was doing most of my life. Failing. I'm tired of failing. And look into your own flaws. There's no problem being like, I have issues. But acknowledging that. Being accountable for the things that you are. And if you're by yourself, that's what you need to do. You need to learn to be accountable. Because you are the only person that you could depend on, Papa. I know. I was in the same boat. But 1 will eventually turn to 2. 2 turns to 3. All of a sudden, you got a team behind you. That's what happened with me. Stay accountable, stay driven, and stay persistent. That's what I'd probably tell somebody that feels like they don't have anybody but themselves. That's all you need is yourself, really. But when you have someone else there for you, it makes everything a lot better.